All of this is to say, if you're not going to get to pick 1 or 2, at some point you have to put all the chips in. The Flyers are going to have this Colorado pick that is going to be somewhere in the high 20s, not the bottom of the draft, likely in the higher part of the 20s. Now, there's no team that's going to trade from, like, let's say number 9 down to 20. There's nobody's going to trade from number 12 down to 21 or 22. But could the Flyers get really crafty on draft day if Roger McQueen falls to 15, right? If he falls to 15, which is Vancouver, could the Flyers potentially work out a deal with Vancouver to send them the Colorado pick, which let's call it 23 or 24? Could they send 24, whatever the Edmonton pick is, probably somewhere in the later 20s, call it 28. So 24, 28, their first round pick next year, and maybe a roster player. Does Vancouver get excited about a young defenseman like Cam York? Is that enough for them to trade back 8 spots? I would say probably not. But then again, first-round draft capital is first-round draft capital. Is there another player on this team that Vancouver is interested in? Those are the kind of conversations we're going to have. If Roger McQueen falls beyond 15, say McQueen falls to, 18 or 19, and the Flyers have that Colorado pick at 22, can you make a move to get a falling McQueen? To me, whichever team, if McQueen falls into the teens or somehow falls into the 20s, the team that is willing to make a move and snag him later in the first round, that's the kind of big balls move that potentially takes you from being a good playoff team to potentially being a team that, despite not getting to pick 1 or 2, made the move when it mattered and went and got a guy who can become a 1C. I get that the back injury is a significant concern. I understand. But he's a 6'5" center. And there are people talking about him potentially falling in the first round. If I'm Danny Briere and I'm evaluating what you can get at 20, say 22, 23, whatever the Colorado pick is, and say 27 or 28, wherever the Oilers pick ends up. If I'm looking at the value of 23, the value of 28, I'm looking at my pick next year, knowing full well that the Flyers intend on making the playoffs next year and doing enough to this lineup to make the playoffs next year. If you're looking at it from that perspective, do you say, I'm willing to move 23, 28, and 17, 18 next year for a falling Roger McQueen? Does that make sense? If it works out, and if the medical report you get is actually a good one, or you believe that he's going to be healthy, that's the kind of move that fundamentally changes an organization's trajectory. Now, it's also possible that there's a team that is in the top 10 that says, you know what, we're going to take a chance. I could see the back injury being a thing that scares teams away from him. I do. I could see it happening.